Thank you, head teacher, manager. I'm very pleased to be here this morning. I want to thank the students for those two beautiful prayers. I enjoyed that very much. What a way to begin the day. मैं आप सभी को विशेष धन्यवाद दे रहा हूँ स्वागत के लिए और विशेष तौर पर जो प्रार्थना बच्चों ने किया बहुत ही आदरणीय था, मनभावक था और बहुत ही सुंदर बात है कि हम सभा की जो शुरुआत है वो प्रार्थना से करते हैं। आप सभी को यहाँ आने के लिए विशेष धन्यवाद। I will start by saying two things because that's the first thing is I've been saying this from Singatoka, where we began our consultations, to correct these malicious, false rumors. This was spread before the election. Some of it is continuing now, and that is to say that the new government is going to take away people's welfare. That's the rumor that's going around, right? That's all false. The other rumor is that students will have to pay tuition fees. Again, false. Lies that are being spread. Nothing like that will be done by this. In fact, if anything, if you're looking at social welfare, if you're looking at improving the quality of life of our people, you should expect improvement to all those. Instead of these lies that this will be taken away. The first thing that we did as a government, and many of the students would know, we allocated $50 million straight away from the budget, looked at the budget, identified the areas where we felt there will be wastage, not a priority area. We took $50 million from there and gave $200 each to every student from preschool to high school before the school opened. We helped 214,000 students throughout the country. Each one of them got $200. And it helped them to go and buy books, stationery, shoes, bags, uniform. How many of the students here, put your hands up if you got the $200? All of them. And we were also told, हमें ये भी बताया गया कि पहली बार सही समय, we gave the money at an appropriate time. ये नहीं कि इलेक्शन से पहले, इलेक्शन 4 साल बाद है, क्योंकि हमें पता था कि लोगों की समस्या है। कोविड के बाद जो ट्रांजिशन था, लोगों की आमदनी कम हुई, नौकरी गई, लोग फिर से व्यवस्थित कर रहे थे और हम ये जानते थे कि लोगों को ज़रूरत है, हमारे जो माँ बाप हैं उनको ज़रूरत है और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पैसा सही तरीके से इस्तेमाल हुआ। So that's an example of the commitment of the government to look after the people. So all these rumors, some of them are still spreading these lies. And I have to say this because हमारे लोगों में ये झूठ-मूठ के डर फैला रहे हैं। ये बजट में सब खत्म हो जाएगा। अरे भैया कुछ छोड़कर गए हो तो हमारे लिए तो कह सकते थे, कर्जा हमारे ऊपर 9 बिलियन हो गया. We are dealing with a huge challenge. So the next budget will be a very balanced budget. For the sugarcane farmers, and I always talked about it, हमारे जो किसान बेचारे शायद अच्छी तरह से समझ नहीं पाए थे उस समय क्या हो रहा था. In 15 years, our production went down from 3.2 million tons to 1.7 million tons. We have made sure, since we came in, to provide the right price to the farmers. First time, in fact, the farmers have already got more than $85 a ton. The last two payments, $24, $7, it's actually taken the price to more than $85. And you still have one payment left. सही है कि नहीं? तो ये सब जो बकवास लोग कर रहे थे कि अरे विमान प्रसाद आ जाएगा, रंबुका आ जाएगा तो खत्म हो जाएगा सब, और खास करके हमारे भारतीय लोगों में ये डर फैला रहे थे. This false rumor was being spread, and I want to correct this. We are going to work very carefully with the Sugarcane Growers Council, with the Sugarcane Growers Fund, with FSC, with the Sugar Ministry. We had a very good meeting there yesterday in Lotoka. Sunil is here. We're talking about cane access road. We're making sure that we give the power back to the farmers. Growers Council को हम फिर से लाएंगे, क्योंकि Growers Council जब था तो लोगों के प्रतिनिधित्व करने वाला कोई था. आप लोगों को थोड़ा सा लेवी का लालच देकर सब ताकत ले लिया. किसान का कोई आवाज नहीं था. There was no voice for the farmers. You had to take what the government was telling you. We don't want that. We want to put the power back to the farmers. So we are looking at how to improve the farm level activity. क्योंकि अगर गन्ना खेत में नहीं है, if there are no cane on the farms, गन्ने की पूरी जो व्यवसाय है, the whole industry is dependent on the farmers. If the farmers don't produce the cane, forget about the industry. That's where it starts. So we have to make sure that we get the farmers right at the farm level. So इसके लिए हम बजट में तैयारी कर रहे हैं. We will not be able to solve all the problems tomorrow. First, we have this huge debt to deal with. Then we have to make sure that we collect enough revenue. If we don't collect enough revenue, we can't give more to the people. We can't give more for social welfare. So what we are trying to do is to have a very fine balance. हम लोग ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि सरकार की आमदनी भी थोड़ा बढ़ाया जाए, क्योंकि आमदनी अगर बढ़ेगा तभी हम खर्च कर पाएंगे. अगर सोशल वेलफेयर बढ़ाना है तो पैसा कहीं से तो आएगा. If you want to increase social welfare, we have to bring money from somewhere. We just don't want to borrow. Continue to borrow and spend. If you look at the state of our hospitals, the worst ever in the history of this country. All of you know. We have a huge task to fix the health problem. And we are determined to do that. We have a coalition government. Coalition governments can be challenging. It's a three-party coalition. But coalition governments are also very good. We can have our own debate on good policies and come up with an outcome which is good for the country, which is good for everybody. And the government is strong. Government is moving ahead. We've just been in government for 5 months. We will have the budget delivered on the 30th of June. And we want to make sure that we have a budget that is not stalling the recovery. And the good news is this, that the economy is picking up very strongly. Tourism numbers have almost recovered to 100% to what was before COVID. Remittances are very strong. More investors are coming in from overseas as well as domestically. International partners are coming out very strongly. You know, the Indian Prime Minister, when he met our Prime Minister, Honorable Ramuka in Papua New Guinea, announced a 100-bed super hospital in Fiji. ऐसा अस्पताल जहां पर सभी कुछ जो इलाज है जो अभी हम इंडिया भेजते हैं लोगों को, ऑस्ट्रेलिया न्यूजीलैंड भेजते हैं, वो यहाँ पर होगा। ये झूठ नहीं बोल रहे हैं, दिखावटी के लिए नहीं है, ये अंतर्राष्ट्रीय तौर पर इसकी घोषणा हुई है और भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने इसकी घोषणा की है, the Prime Minister of India. So we are looking at health, we are looking at fixing the roads. I know people are complaining about roads, I understand that. People are complaining about water. We have been in government for only 5 months. People have to understand that this is not a problem that this government has created. We are dealing with a problem that was already there. We want to bring PWD back to fix rural roads, to fix repair and maintenance, which was not happening. And you see what was happening now. We want to rationalize the work of the Fiji Roads Authority. There is a new board, a very competent board, which has been appointed to run Fiji Roads Authority, and we are confident that the money, the funds that we give to Fiji Roads Authority will be used properly. Almost all the budget was used in 6 months. By the time we came into government in December, almost all the money allocated for one whole year to Fiji Roads Authority was spent. So we had to look for more funding, and we are trying to understand what happened. Third thing that we want to do, apart from raising revenue, making sure that we look after our people, is to make sure that we cut down on wastages. जो पैसा बर्बाद हो रहा था, दुरुपयोग हो रहा था, और ये मैं थोड़े पैसे की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, hundreds of millions of dollars. कुछ लोग ढिंडोरा पीच रहे हैं कि 500,000 हमने गिरमिट में क्यों खर्चा किया, रातु सुकूना डे में क्यों किया, लेकिन hundreds of millions जो चोरी हुआ, बर्बाद हुआ, उसके बारे में नहीं बात कर रहे हैं, शांत बैठे हैं, क्योंकि कुछ लोग उसमें शामिल थे. So we are cutting down the wastages to make sure that we put the money where people need most. Aspatal, we want to put money into hospitals, into roads, in water supply, social welfare, and improve the environment within the farming community, agriculture, and for those who do business. So that's the framework within which this budget is going to be prepared. It will not be an easy budget because we have to balance everything so that we can set a foundation, and in the next 2 years or 3 years, we would be able to bring things back to normal and make sure that our people are improving their quality of life. For our teachers and schools, school management, we want to build that partnership. अभी तो लगा आप लोग डर के बैठे थे, कुछ नहीं, आपको सुनना पड़ता था, स्कूल आपने बनाया, हमारे बाप दादे ने बनाया, लेकिन इंस्ट्रक्शन आपको कोई और दे रहा था. What we want is to bring that partnership between school management, teachers, and the community. When we say you can raise funds, you can hold bazaars, we are not saying that students will have to pay for it. There's another rumor that, this government will now put the burden back on the children. What we are saying is, there was this beautiful partnership before. You used to have annual bazaars. Parents used to come in. Students used to come in. Teachers work together. If we can raise some additional funds to improve facilities apart from the one that government gives never gives enough. Do you have enough funds to do everything that you want? You don't. And in the past, so we are also, this government is also trying to bring back that partnership. We want the people to be involved in helping themselves. Cane access roads in the past, there used to be committees, road committees. There was this self-help projects, 1/3, 2/3, and things were working very well. People were very happy. आप लोग खुश थे उस समय. And we want to also free our people. ये जो डर के आप लोग रहते थे कि अगर कहीं सरकार के खिलाफ हम कुछ बोल दिए, यहाँ से वो बात वहाँ जाता था कि हमारा सोशल वेलफेयर चला जाएगा, ये चला जाएगा. मास्टर लोग डरे हुए थे स्कूल में कि कहीं कुछ बोल दिया तो वो सेफ हो गया. हम ये सब, we want to remove all those fear. We want to remove this kind of governance where people are afraid to talk to us. आप खुलेआम हमसे बोल सकते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री से बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपको डरना नहीं है कि आपके पीछे कोई लग जाएगा. This is a government that believes in consultation, dialogue, working together. We want to empower the community. We want to ensure that our people lead. And we know that there is a lot of wisdom, knowledge, experience that resides with the people. हमें पता है कि हमारे लोग, जो आप जैसे लोगों में बहुत बुद्धि है, ज्ञान है, अनुभव है. आप जानते हैं कि गांव में क्या हो रहा है, इलाके में क्या हो रहा है. सरकार का काम है आप लोगों से मिलकर काम करना. तो ये भी जो तरीका है, these are the environment that we want to create in the country, and we are doing it now. Girmit celebration के बाद, we had 2 big events, and you will see that's after 144 years, this is the first time ever in the history of this country that Girmit Day has been celebrated as a national holiday. Everybody came together. From next year, there will be, like Diwali, there will be a public holiday every year. हमारे बाप दादों की जो याद है उसको हर साल एक पब्लिक हॉलिडे द्वारा हम मान्यता देंगे ताकि हमारे बच्चे जो भूल रहे थे हमारे इतिहास को, हमारी भाषा को, उसको हम फिर से लेकर आए. We also brought back Ratusela Skuna Day, a very important holiday that was taken away. The visionary statesman, and he talked about shared leadership. तो मिलकर हम काम कर रहे हैं. तो एक बार फिर मैं आप लोगों को विशेष धन्यवाद दे रहा हूं और मैं इसलिए थोड़ा ज़्यादा बोला क्योंकि मैं आप लोगों को पहली बार आया हूं, बताना चाहता था. I wanted to tell you कि और आप लोगों को यह आश्वासन देने आया हूं कि ये जो गलत फहमी, जो गलत बकवास, झूठ ये चल रहा है, ये इलेक्शन से पहले भी चल रहा था, उसके बाद भी चल रहा है जगह जगह पर, ये आप लोग छोड़िए. हम भविष्य देखते हैं. पीछे जो हुआ सो हुआ, अब हम आगे देखते हैं. We are looking to the future. We are not worried about what happened in the past. The problems are there. We have to fix it. We are in government now. So thank you very much, and I look forward to your comments and questions. Just feel free. डरने की कोई बात नहीं है. जो कुछ बोलना है आप बोल सकते हो. धन्यवाद.
My name is Chukata Mararashia. I'm a farmer and a former church pastor and a former policeman. First of all, even though I'm handicapped now, but I'm still a farmer. I was very worried about the social welfare. From the $90 which we are having now, how can we survive? How can we survive? It was more than 5 years we have been receiving this money. I myself have got my wife, I've got my kids, but from this what you call budget which is going on, can it be increased? Because of the $90, only one day we can use it. Not even 2 days, not even 3 days. Myself and my missus. And about those who are with the families, with the children, 5, 6 children, can they be survived? For the last 5 years. And another thing is, we are very concerned about the 92 who are having that money, which they are not receiving now. 92,000. We know each other very well. We are the very poor people who are having this money. One of them is myself. And another concern about the road. Even though we are farmers, cane farmers, but the road is such in a very bad situation. From Veisaru, why they touch the road from town to Korum? Why? There's no need for that. Because both sides of the road, there's no family. But right in Veisaru, from the main road, when we enter Veisaru road, families are living both sides. As Headmaster has mentioned, this side of the road, there's one creek near Master Jansen. Only one creek. Only that creek, if it can become in a higher condition, because it's very low. I'm using this road every day I went to town. I go to town. From this side, we have got 2 creeks. One right near the shop and one over here. Please say, we don't use it when wet weather comes. No. We just use this road. I really care, Mr. Prime Minister. This is a big concern about us, people in Veisaru. That concern from Veisaru as a chairman, former chairman of the Bar Community Policy We were having our meeting one day at Korum Police Post. Come up, go up, go down, go up, go down. By this time, when the mill has been started, only the dust go inside the police post. So I told VM Pillay that time, nearly 3 years back, my brother, what can you do? And he told me, my brother Joe, leave it to my hand. Till now, there's nothing has been done. No touching. Only how many 1 kilometer to be touched because of the dust. Our post officer is over here. He knows it very well. When the time we have to do a meeting, only the dust. We have to close the police post. Where I'm staying here, in the early 60s, there were no people staying inside there. Veisaru Sanatan Dharam. By now, there are more than 35 farmers, new farmers. But we need the road to be given to the FRA because population has been coming up. From 1960s, there were no people there. By now, there are people staying there. So please, Namanda, Veisaru Ring Road should be given to the government because of the population. Thank you very much.
Thank you for raising those important issues on the roads. So we made notes. I don't promise that it will be done tomorrow, but we will definitely look into this and make sure, as I said, we will bring PWD back. The amount of money that had been spent by FRA over the last so many years, and I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars. We want to allocate more money, but we also want to make sure that there is value for money and that PWD would be able to fix some of the roads. On social welfare, yes, you are absolutely right. The way in which social welfare scheme has been implemented, we feel that some people like you, who deserve more, should be given more. But, what had happened over the years is that it was just done before elections, haphazard manner. We are looking at all that, and I can tell you that it will increase. By how much, I can't tell you now, but it will be increased in a number of areas.
So, the problem, as you have said, that the sugarcane has been dropped from 3.4 million whatsoever to 1.7 million. There's a reason behind that. As you are very much aware of it, that in 1999, the Crown Schedule A and B was reserved, and I was one of the victims of it in Rambulu, Tavua. Now I am staying in Koronambu. My name is Rajesh Singh, staying in my brother's land. And from that time, the industry was slumming down. Because there are a lot of lands available. People say this is my land. No mungele, no matangari. But nothing has been done there. And how you expect that the sugar industries to go up when there is no availability of the land? That's one major thing. If the land is available, there are a lot of people who need land for the development. And as everyone in the world knows that agriculture is the backbone of the country. And apart from the sugar industries, the chemicals which are used today, which has been banned, there are a lot of good chemicals which are banned, and the chemicals are brought in are not effective. Like glyphosate, a chemical contained in grain gallon, price is $77. No, it's only work for 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks. And farmers have to spend that much money to do the farm work. We need some better chemicals which the price are reasonable. The grant is given onto the chemicals which are effective for the farmers. As if you calculate the cost of the price of sugarcane today and the cost behind it, the cane farmers are not gaining. In past time, when I was a very young boy, my grandparents, they used to earn a lot out of sugarcane. They constructed a house, educated their kids, they bought tractors, trucks, everything. But today, a farmer cannot do it. 100% I would like to say, sir. We need some sort of changes that the chemicals to be brought in are effective. As well as in the vegetables farm, I do a little bit of vegetable farming. The rice industry is to be brought up to. As myself, I am one of the Bar Rice Farmers Association chairman, as well as Bar Rice Farmers Cooperative Limited chairman. And we have been working hard towards the country that the bar and other places, the rice industry is to be raised. And there was a challenging period a couple of years back that in the Western Division, none other places took over bar in rice planting. But last year and this year, people are afraid because there is no harvester. I have applied to the government for the harvester on 2/3 and 1/3 basis, on grant basis. So the approval has been given, and I managed to raise around about $9,000, and still I am lacking of $7,000 to put it back to the government's account so that we can get a rice harvester. People are very much afraid of putting money because what they think that it might be viable or may not be viable. So we need support from the government because everybody knows that the government is importing $40 million worth of rice every year. And the availability of land, with the land we have at the moment, at least a lot of reduction can be done in importation. Say, at the last what you have said, I really like that you are here to work together. As in the beginning you have criticized the past government, which the criticism is no good. It's good to unite with the people, as you have said at last, that we are here to unite with the people, to work with the people to put this country up. And another thing, sir, without taking loan, nobody can rise the business. As you can see, the bigger business people, right, big giants in bar, Vinod Patel, R.C. Manubai, Tapos, Motibai, all, at one stage where they were and where they are now. They have taken loan, paid loan, they have increased the business. Hope so, my government will not stop taking out loan. They can take loan, do the development, the money will flow in. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, just quickly to respond to you, you have to know where we are. It's not a criticism of the past government. You have to know where we are now. What's the level of debt? What's the state of the health? What's the state of the roads? What the states of the water? And the reason why I started with that, because I wanted to tell the people what are the problems we are dealing with. On the land issue, I think that's not the only reason why sugar industry has gone down. In 2006, we are producing 3.2 million tons. Since 2006, it just went down. You have to ask, who are the people in charge of land? Who was the chairman of the TLTB? Who was looking after the crown land? You have to be honest about what happened. You can't sweep it under the carpet. आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते हो कि सब कुछ ठीक था, अब चल रहा है. So we have to understand where the problem is. The issue with respect to chemicals, fertilizer, these are issues that are there that we have to deal with. The sugar industry stakeholders are looking at it. We want to make sure that, so first thing that we started, and you didn't mention that, is that we have restored, farmers lost $13 million because they were not paid the full $85 guaranteed price that was promised to you. We have now restored that. So, you have to be honest about the problems that we have and what we intend to do. Yes, you are right. You were talking a little bit about economics. People do take loan, but you have to take the loan to be able to spend it to grow everything. But if you take loan and waste it, how are you going to pay that? And that's what we are trying to avoid. Yes, government has a debt level of about 9 billion, and it has to be paid. Don't you think so? And to pay that, you have to grow the economy. And that's what we are trying to do in the budget. We are going to make sure that we have a very balanced budget. We allocate enough money to education, to health, to social welfare, to agriculture, to the sugar industry, and make sure that every sector is looked after. Land was always an issue. Land is not the only factor that has led to the reduction in the sugar production. उतना ही जमीन में से production कम हो गया. जहाँ पर you are producing 300 tons, now on the same land you are producing 100 tons or only 200 tons. And you have to find out what are the reasons for that. We are trying to also strengthen the governance structure within the rural communities. We want to empower the NGOs, school managements, advisory councillors, and we are looking at how we can strengthen advisory councillors, not become a political tool of a government, but advisory councillors to be able to work with the community independently, save the people. Right now, advisory councillors were like, tools of some government functionary. We don't want that. And that's why we want to have an elected growers councillor, so that the farmers' problems is taken to the growers council. Right now, you have to rely on government and everything. Whatever they tell you, whatever they give you, you take it quietly. We don't want to do that. We want to bring the growers councillors back. We want to have a fully functioning, process so that people can work together. And that's the way that we can raise the sugar industry. On rice, yes, all the other sectors are important. Throughout the country, rice production has gone down. And if you look at the statistics, what happened in the last 15 years, you have to work out where the problem was. So when we talk about what happened in the past, it's not necessarily criticizing someone out there. We are looking to the future. But we have to know where the problem is. बिना समस्या को समझने और जानने कैसे आप उसको हल करोगे? ठीक है ना? तो that's what we are trying to do. Thank you.
हृदय से धन्यवाद दे रहे हैं जो आपने बहुमूल्य समय आप निकाला या मैं बाई जिला में आके हमारे किसान और हमारे सब भाइयों को समस्या सुनने के लिए। तो वैसे तो कहने के तो बहुत कुछ आप कह चुके हैं, निर्णय कर दिए हैं कि जो समस्या है उसको सबको तोड़ के सबक बहुत सच बात आप कहें। और हमारे पास 2-4 समस्या में किसान पेशे से मैं किसान हूँ और मैं भी अपने स्कूल के मैनेजर साहब ने बोली सनातन प्राइमरी स्कूल को, तो जो 2-4 विषय है मैं आपसे सामने में पेश करता हूँ जिससे आप हमको निर्णय करें। पहला चीज़ जो किसान की हैसियत से जो हम लोग के मैनुअल गन्ना कटाई है, जो मैनुअल गन्ना हम लोग कटवा रहे हैं, उनके कोई लिमिट प्राइस नहीं है। कोई $30 मांगे, कोई $20 मांगे, कोई $25 मांगे, कोई खाना मांगे, और नहीं करो तो फिर गन्ना भी जरे है, और फिर और फोर्स करो तो दुकान भी टूटी, स्कूल भी टूटे, पुलिस रिपोर्ट भी है हम लोग पास। तो बहुत रकम से हम लोग इसमें मुसीबत काट रहे हैं, एक बात ये ना। और दूसरा जो मशीन गन्ना काट रहे हैं, जो FSC के लोरी जो मौका मोड़ लिखते हैं वो प्रोपर चार्ज अपन लेते हैं जितना किलोमीटर पे उनका रेट बनता है, और जो बहरे से जो लोरी कॉन्ट्रेक्टर लोग लगाते हैं, जो मशीन के गौना लोग, उस पर लोग $3-4 ऊपर ज़्यादा लेते हैं। तो हम लोग इसमें कुछ कर नहीं सकते, इस एक ही बात है। और तीसरा बात मिस्टर साहब जी, जैसे भी लीज वाला विषय भैया बताए हैं, तो अभी हम लोग नवोली में किसान जो है, हम लोग को लगभग 70-80 टन के किसान है, 1070 टन के किसान है, लेकिन हम लोग का जो लीज बचा है अभी सिर्फ 7 साल का। तो कैसे हम लोग उसको प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाएं, कैसे हम लोग ग्रोस फंड से लोन लें, कैसे लोरी रिपेयर कराएं, कैसे गन्ना कटाएं, इनके लायों कटाएं। तीसरा समस्या भारी मामला हम लोग के लीज साला है। अभी भी बताया उन लोगों से कि तुम्हारा तो 7 साल का बचा, उसके बाद में हम देखेंगे कहाँ जाते हो तुम। तो ऐसे धमकी मिल रहा अभी भी ना। तो हमारे 2-4 विषय, 2-3 विषय है। और तीसरा स्कूल के विषय हमारे पास है। हमारे स्कूल के हेडमास्टर द्वारा कुछ गलती भया तो कुछ टेम्परेरी सस्पेंड हो गए विद पे। और जो हमारा स्कूल के जो नीचे लेवल के जो मास्टर, उसमें से जो थोड़ा ऊपर का लेवल, उसको कुछ अथॉरिटी दिया गया कि स्कूल संभालो, बट उससे समझता नहीं है। जब मैं कुछ बोलता हूँ तो बोला मुझे पे नहीं मिलता। तो बिना राजा के प्रजा कैसे रहेंगे ना। तो उस पर हम एजुकेशन गौर देखे, कोई हम लोग अच्छा हेडमास्टर सनातनी स्कूल में देगी, इसके हम लोग अपने स्कूल चलाए। बस जो कुछ भी रहा हमारा भैया इतने रहा। आप तो विद्वानंद में आप इसके बारे में फिर से आप मैं हृदय से धन्यवाद दे रहा हूँ जो इतना बहुमूल्य समय निकाले, और जो यहाँ है और हमारे जो योगेश भैया है जो ये माहौल सजाए, उनके भी अपन कोटि से हृदय से धन्यवाद दे रहे हैं।
धन्यवाद। आपने सही 2-3 विषयों पर प्रकाश डाला। जो जमीन वाली समस्या है, देखिए ये समस्या नई समस्या नहीं है, ये बड़ी समस्या है, लेकिन कभी कभी बड़ा हो जाता है, कभी कभी सुलझा भी जाता है इसको। तो हमारी सरकार की जो नीति है ये बातचीत से होगा। और जो लीज वाली समस्या है, अभी ये 7 साल आपका बचा है, इतना कम समय भी नहीं है, 7 साल बहुत समय है। तो हम अलग अलग इलाके में, अभी जैसे सयांगा में मैं अगले हफ्ता वहाँ जा रहा हूँ। आपको मालूम होगा जब मैं ऑपोजिशन में था, वहाँ लीज एक्सपायर होता था तो प्रीमियम वहाँ 40,000 50,000 मांग रहे थे। तो उस समय के जो प्रधानमंत्री था, जब उससे मैंने सवाल किया कि तुम TLTV के चेयरमैन हो, क्या कर रहे हो? बोला मैं देखूंगा। कुछ नहीं हुआ। 15 साल से वो आदमी उस संस्था का प्रधान था, क्यों नहीं उसको सुलझाया? क्योंकि बातचीत नहीं होता था। हमारे जो प्रधानमंत्री हैं सिद्धिबेनी रंबूका, हम उनसे बात कर रहे हैं, जो मिनिस्टर ऑफ वोइतो के अफेयर्स है, बहुत ही अच्छा आदमी है। उसको भी पता है कि जमीन की समस्या, अगर जमीन की लीज की समस्या हम नहीं सुलझाते हैं तो ये देश प्रगति नहीं कर पाएगा, एग्रीकल्चर प्रगति नहीं कर पाएगी। तो इस पर हमारी बातचीत हो रही है और मुझे विश्वास है कि ये समस्याओं का समाधान, हर समस्या का समाधान का मैं वादा नहीं करता हूँ, लेकिन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जो लीज की समस्या है, जो किसानों की समस्या है, जो पोत की समस्या है, उस पर हम बातचीत करेंगे और उसको हम सुलझाएंगे। ये होगा। ये पहले इतिहास अगर आप देखो, 1970 से हमारे लीडरों ने बातचीत के द्वारा, चाहे आप अल्टो ले लो, अल्टा ले लो, क्राउन लीज तो सरकार के हाथ में था। अगर उसको किसी ने कन्वर्ट किया है और नहीं रिन्यू किया है, पोत बढ़ाया है, तो वो सरकार का जिम्मेदारी था। जैसे भाई जी ने कहा कि उसका क्राउन लीज चला गया था, कौन किया, कैसे हुआ? लेकिन जो ये लीज की समस्या है, आपने सही कहा, इस पर हम बहुत ही, मुझे पता है और हम देख रहे हैं कि अलग अलग जगहों पर जो सर्वे है कमल, we need to take this into account so we can identify different areas, different provinces, or especially in the sugar cane belt, where we need to understand what's happening to the leases, what's the time frame that is left, and how it may impact, so we can do that as a collective thing. तो आप चिंता मत कीजिए, और जो स्कूल वाली समस्या है वो हम उसका नोट किए, जो मिनिस्टर फॉर एजुकेशन है मैं उसे बता दूंगा, और वहाँ पर भी बहुत ऐसे विषय है जिस पर अभी बातचीत हो रही है। एजुकेशन कमीशन भी बैठेगा, एजुकेशन समिट भी होगा, और हम चाहते हैं कि जो स्कूल मैनेजमेंट है, जैसे आप लोगों ने स्कूल बनाया, हमारे बाप दादे ने बनाया, कोई सरकार की जागीर नहीं है, ये स्कूल आपने बनाया। सरकार का कर्तव्य बनता है बच्चों की जो फीस है, ग्रांट है, वो आप लोगों का पैसा है, कोई दान नहीं दे रहा है। अगर मैं आज यहाँ आकर बता दूं कि हम 20,000 और स्कूल को ग्रांट दे रहे हैं, तो आपका पैसा दे रहे हैं। मैं कोई संत नहीं हो जाता हूं कि आकर दे दिया, क्योंकि कुछ लोग यही बता रहे थे कि हम दे रहे हैं, अपने जेब से दे रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं है, आप लोगों का पैसा है, हमारा काम है कि उसको फैसिलिटेट करो। Government's job is to make sure that we provide the appropriate resources and work together with the school. ये हमारा फिलोसफी है। Thank you.
मैं नरकुबा मोटोसिट्टा के रहने वाला हूँ। मेरे पास 3 फार्म्स है, सिर्फ गन्ना की खेती है। मैं कुछ दिनों तक वेजिटेबल फार्मिंग भी किया, लेकिन अब गन्ना में जुट गया हूँ, बिकॉज हमारा उम्र भी हो गया है कि हम सब खेती नहीं कर सकते, और टाइम जैसे आता है वैसे वैसे देश के आगे बढ़ने के लिए हम लोग गन्ना की खेती में शुरू से लगे हुए हैं। गन्ना की खेती एक ऐसा खेती है जिसमें देखा गया है कि किसान, कोई भी किसान हुए, तो वापस जो भी कमाई है, जितना तो अपन परिवार में नहीं खर्चा करता है, वो अपना धरती माँ को दे देता है। क्योंकि इसमें देखा जाए है कि नेचुरल डिजास्टर, जैसे तूफान आ जाता है, बाढ़ चढ़ जाता है, कभी कभी झुकाव से आग वगैरह लग जाता है फसल पर, तो कई बार किसानों का जो फसल है वो बर्बाद हो जाता है। तो उस पर किसान काफ़ी लाचार हो जाते हैं, और हम मांगते हैं कि जो इस साल का ऐसा बजट आप सुनाएं हम लोगों को, जिसमें हम जनता सब खुश रहे, देखें कि हाँ भाई सरकार हम किसानों के लिए क्या किए। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि ये सरकार ऐसा करेगी, और मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ हमारे जितने प्रवक्ता लोग जो आज समस्या आपके पास पेश किए हैं, मैं उनको दोहराना नहीं चाहता, और यही आशा करता हूँ कि जो बजट हमारा है वो एक भविष्यशाली बजट हो।
धन्यवाद भाई साहब, बहुत ही सुंदर ढंग से आपने और नम्रता भाव से विषय को रखा। मैं ये वादा करता हूँ कि कुछ सहूलियत हमारे गन्ने के किसान जो है उनको मिलेगा। जैसे मैंने कहा, दाम 80 और $5 से ऊपर हो गया, एक पेमेंट और बचा है, उस पर हम अभी बारीकी से ध्यान दे रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि किसानों को और मिले। कई एक्सेस रोड जो अलग अलग समस्या हैं हमें पता है, उस पर हम ध्यान दे रहे हैं, उसके लिए हम कुछ पैसा लगाएंगे। मैं ये वादा नहीं करता हूँ कि सभी कुछ होगा इस बजट में, अगले वर्ष उसके बाद ये जो अलग अलग बड़ी बड़ी जो समस्या है इसको हम सुलझाएंगे। लेकिन ये आश्वासन है कि यहाँ से आप देखेंगे कि सही तरीके से सही जगह पर और थोड़ा धीरज के साथ ये होगा। अगले बजट में सभी कुछ नहीं होगा, ये मैं आपको साफ बता रहा हूँ। लेकिन सही जगह पर जो ज़रूरत है, जो तुरंत तत्कालीन करना है, उसको हम करेंगे और बाकी अगले वर्ष या उसके बाद बहुत होता रहेगा। और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि गन्ने की दाम में और सुधार होगा, जहाँ से अभी है उससे ज़्यादा सुधार होगा।
के बतलाने को आपको, और बड़ी मुख्य विषय हमारे कोरनम्बू सनातन धर्म सिमेट्री जो है, ये तो बहुत पुरानी सिमेट्री है, लेकिन उसका निर्माण नहीं हो रहा है। बारिश के समय में हम जो अर्थी है वो लेकर कोरबुतू जाते हैं और ररवाई जाते हैं, या कभी कभी हमको जाना पड़ता है वरों को। तो मैं आपसे दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि यदि इसमें कुछ आप हाथ लगाए कि कोरनम्बू सनातन धर्म जो सिमेट्री है उसका जो छत है उसका निर्माण हो जाए तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद होगा। धन्यवाद।
कितना पैसा लगेगा, आपने कुछ अध्ययन किया?
मैंने कोटेशन लिया था।
कितना?
अराउंड अबाउट $40,000।
40,000 क्या रूफ फिक्स करने के लिए?
कंप्लीट स्ट्रक्चर बनाने के लिए।
कितना आप लोग बटोर सकते हो? जो कम्युनिटी है,
कम्युनिटी को तो अभी जो चंदा जो है $3 था, बढ़ाकर $5 किया गया, फिर $10 किया गया, वो नहीं भरते। और मेम्बरन में आपको बतलाऊं कि 342 मेम्बरन्स से कम नहीं है कोरनम्बू सिमेट्री का, लेकिन कोई चंदा भरने को तैयार नहीं है। बताओ मैं क्या करूं? तो आपसे दरख्वास्त करते हैं, क्योंकि जो कार्यकर्ता जो वहाँ के कार्यकर्ता है वो मैं कहूँगा ओपनली कि वो सुन्न बैठे, उनका कोई दिलचस्पी नहीं लगता है कि कार्य को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए। मेरे पास 2 छोटे छोटे डोनर्स हैं, लेकिन वो भी डरते हैं उनसे।
आप लोगों की लगता है कि आपस की समस्या पहले सुलझानी पड़ेगी, तो फिर बाद में शमशान भूमि बनाना पड़ेगा। देखिए ठीक है, आपने सुझाव दिया, उसका हम नोट कर रहे हैं और कोशिश करेंगे उस पर। तो आप लोग अपना जो कमेटी है उसको पहले ठीक कीजिए और प्रपोजल बनाइए और भेजिए। मैं उस पर खुद व्यक्तिगत रूप से कोशिश करूंगा कि अगर जो दानदाता है बहुत है, मुझे लगता है वो 40,000 जो आप कर रहे हैं वो बड़ी पैसा नहीं है, वो कल बटोर सकता है।
धन्यवाद। और मैं आपको बतलाऊं कि जो कमेटी है, वो कमेटी अभी अपना जो अकाउंट्स है उसका उन्होंने
वो बाद में उसको आप सॉर्ट आउट कीजिए, यहाँ पर उसको
धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद।
I'm talking in regards to the sugar industry again, like about the budget for the mechanization of sugar industry and the introduction of new mechanism like research and development and bioorganic fertilizers. So I would like to request the Ministry of Sugar and your team to look into the budget for allocation for like cooperatives to introduce or use their farms to test the fields of the production of sugarcane, and if you could just allocate few bucks to cooperatives and the member of publics who are interested in taking part in this scheme. That's for mechanization and introduction of fully mechanized sugarcane fields. We have developed a few machinery for this, we have harvesters, but we don't have any other machineries to cultivate. Like now we have detressers, which can detress the sugarcane for better airflow. That's and fertilizer application, that's liquid fertilizer application machines. So we would like to introduce those technologies to Fiji. Is there any kind of allocation or things that you have in mind you can help to imply it?
I think you made some good suggestions there, good points. We will take note of that. Maybe, Sugarcane Growers Council in consultation with SRIF, and we, as I said, I had a very good meeting with Sugarcane Growers Fund, Sugarcane Growers Council, the FSC people were there. We want SRIF to look at it. So there will be some rationalization of how the industry players leadership and look at some of those specific things. There are a lot of ideas, but sometimes, it just takes action to operationalize those. You need people to do that. So hopefully, I can't give you a sort of, definite answer to say, this will happen. Of course, the experts will have to look at it. But thank you for those points, good suggestions.
On behalf of the students, I have been farming since my birth. So I want to know, asking from the student side, what's the future of us for being a cane farmer?
I grew up on a rice farm in Raketi in Banwalewu. And I never thought that, I was never thinking, I had no idea that someday I'll be a professor, someday I'll be a politician or a minister. But the future of sugarcane farming is, if you look at countries like Mauritius, which is smaller than Fiji. The sugar minister is in Mauritius looking at Mauritius. We were better than Mauritius many years ago. But in the last 30 years, Mauritius has just gone up and up and up. And the sugar industry has gone up and up and up. And we have gone down and down and down. So obviously, there are things that we are not doing that we should be doing. I think the future of agriculture, including sugar, because there will always be demand for food. Climate change, whether it's affecting food production globally, whether it's sugar, whether it's rice. So farming will always have a future. In fact, if we and this is where the government is going to focus, we want to make agriculture not only efficient, but also agriculture must be profitable, lucrative. And there is a lot of money to be made out of agriculture. But we have to, there are issues about export. We are looking at quarantine issues, alternative livelihood where people just don't rely on sugar. So these are, so in a nutshell, Veisaru, there is a future for agriculture. And I mean, आप लोग हम जो शहर में रहते हैं, आप लोग हमें जिलाते हो। सुबह फ्राइडे को जो हमारे लोग जाते हैं मार्केट, people going to the market in the morning on Friday, Saturday. Women from Thailand, leave home at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning to take their dalo and miti and vegetables. People from Muniveni, Singatoka, they leave 2 o'clock in the morning. We don't know, but they feed us. Farmers are very important in any country. If we didn't have you people, who would feed the country? So, if you're asking about the future of farming, whether it's sugar, it's bright. It should be bright. We should make it bright. And the children should also know that you can make a future. Would rather have all the farmers with a degree, in the next 30 years. And they do very well. Some of you would become very successful engineers, doctors, nurses, but also very successful rich farmers as well. There's always a possibility.
State Veisaru, we are very proud for you to be here. Thank you very much for paying the kind price in 4 payments of more than $85. We really appreciate that. The second thing is that the kind access roads have been done. However, the contractors, their machines are in very poor condition. The work they should do it in 2 hours, they take 4 hours. I think this should be taken in consideration by FSC before approving their contracts. And the most important thing, that is keeping people awake before the budget, is the VAT. There is a lot of rumor that the VAT has gone up, it will go up. I would like to hear from you, which section will the VAT may increase or others? And the last one, we have the way bridge in Karavi. Most of our cane, when we have oversupply of cane to Rarawai mill, most of our cane is delivered to Lotoka mill. So I would suggest if we could get a concession on the load limit for our cane delivery to Lotoka mill. Thank you.
So thank you very much for asking that question on VAT. So let me just give you a history of VAT. From 2011 to 2016, the VAT rate was 15%. In case some people don't remember, the VAT rate was 15%. And you remember in 2014, I was talking about reducing VAT from 15 to 10%. That time there was no exemption on basic food items. So in 2016, it was reduced from 15 to 9%. Then, after COVID, they brought 3 rates. 0 rate on some basic food items, 9% on other items, and 15% on other items. So there were 3 rates. So already there is 15%, already there is 9%, already there is 0%. So what we want to do is to rationalize that, because it's creating a lot of problems for businesses, for collection of revenue, and we are seeing that it's not working very well. So we are working towards making sure that we rationalize that. So we could have only 2 rates. We could have 0, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, depending on how we work out what is the revenue that we need. We are also looking at, corporate taxes, because we believe that, the corporate sector needs to perhaps, pay more, and many of them are happy to pay a little bit more taxes. Because if we want to put more money into health, if we want to give increased social welfare, as my friend said, we have to find the money. We'll still have to borrow some more to look after our water, roads, projects that we need. So we need to borrow, we need to get money from taxes, other sources, and then think about how we're going to spend. So all these rumors that VAT is been increased, there is a VAT of 15% already there. There is a 9% VAT there, there is a 0% VAT there at the moment. There are 3 rates of VAT. So in the budget, we will be careful. So if we, let's say example, if we keep 2 rates, if we say 0 on some basic food items and 14% on everything else. Because what is happening is if you put 0 VAT on basic food items, then it's not only the poor that buy the food. It's the rich who also buy the rice, buy the flour. They also get 0 VAT and they also benefit. And they could be saving, millions of dollars. That money could go to the poor, to the low-income people. We could increase social welfare if we don't have any exemption. So these are options that we are looking at. But what we want to make sure that if some taxes go up, and we feel that this is going to affect the poor, and low-income people, then we have to make sure that we put more money into their pocket through social welfare, through agriculture, through other support, so that whatever money we get from increased taxes, we are able to put it back. That's how a good budget will be determined. So these lies that are being spread, oh, the bet has been increased by this. We haven't had the budget yet. How can we increase the bet? There is a bet rate of already 15%. Some items that you buy, some services you get, you go to a restaurant in bar and for lunch, you pay 15%. Already you are paying 15% on some of the things. Other items you are paying 9%. On basic food items you are paying 0%, but you are paying some duty and other things. So we are looking at all that. And when the budget comes out, whether it's one rate or two rate, it will be a very thoughtful process. Of course, some people will try and forget what happened in the past. We had 15% VAT, no exemptions. Everybody was paying 15% between 2011 to 2016. So I just wanted to, but a very good question. But what I'm trying to assure our people, especially those on social welfare, that if there are taxes that we feel is going to burden, is going to reduce you will get an increase in social welfare. So that's how we will balance it. Thank you.
Lastly, Honorable, I've got only three concerns. One, our evacuation center, which we built, these people of Veisaru, for 27,000. When I told Inyasiri Ratu that we need some money, and he told me, wait for the next election. That's one. And another one, we have got one small ground, which was built by the youth of this Koro, Veisaru. So we need your kind assistance too, because sometimes you come and play here, our youth. We, the community have to, have to close the ground. That is the procedure. When it's a bad weather, they can't do any. But then, lastly, I've got one scheme power, electrification. From that time till now, only the post near the house. Only the post near the house. 25 houses. There's none have been done. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All I want to say is thank you very much. Thank you very much for the very warm welcome. Thank you for your suggestions. Very good ideas. I know, as I said, we will not be able to solve everything tomorrow. Not everything will be solved in the budget. Not everybody will be happy with the budget. But what we want to do is to set this budget as a way that it will be a solid foundation to improve things in the next 2 or 3 years. We want to work with everybody. We want to make sure that our people are more empowered and that we are able to work together to resolve the different issues that people have. But it's a pleasure to be here, and as I always said, and that's what the government believes, that there is so much experience, so much knowledge, so much understanding that exists amongst our people, and it is our job to listen to you and talk to you and try and formulate policies as much as possible to align to the needs of our people, as well as the broader objectives of growing our economy as a whole. So, Nakabakalebu, Dhanyawad, Shukriya, thank you very much. And I especially want to thank the children for a very warm welcome, for the lovely prayers. and I wish you well. Thank you.